A few years ago, a few colleagues and I were writing a paper, and part of this paper dealt with what qualities we had found that were bouncing around cyberspace that employers were looking for in candidates. So we were building or redesigning classroom courses for hybrid and online delivery for a language program, and we wanted to build these qualities into the program. So we scoured resources like Twitter and any blog, education related articles or other things from professional organizations. It was a little bit non-traditional. We weren't looking in peer-reviewed journal articles, but we also pulled from other books as well. But our main source of information came from what was bouncing around cyberspace, and from different sources, not just a few. And I'll include the link so you can check out what we discovered, what these qualities were a few years back, and what we did. And this same type of cyber stalking for information comes into play in A Wandering Mind. When Scribe starts to get bombarded by very strange sensations and phenomena that are unlike anything she's ever experienced in her life. And she starts noticing these patterns that happen to her, like these transmissions that are being received by her, and she finds these coincidences that there are a few connections that she makes. She's not sure if they're correct or not, but she keeps trying and looking at different sources. She keeps looking at different possibilities. For example, sometimes when she gets an incoming push notification that might coincide with the sensation that she's receiving, or if she reads something online and she gets some kind of weird tingling, she makes a note of it. And also, when she does start to hear voices, there seems to be a sort of dance that goes on when she is talking to someone and to this voice, and she looks at all of her different sources that she's been tracking. I call it trolling. You're trolling like in a fishing boat. You're trolling for information from all of your different sources, and she tries different routes. But she notices that some people happen to post things at certain times, and nowadays we have a lot of resources that are time-stamped. One of Scribe's pet peeves is that PhotoSnap does not have time-stamped posts, so she needs to stalk that regularly. Because after an hour, or when an hour hits an hour, it's never any minutes since post. It's actually an approximation. So we have all this information, and those are the tools that she has to try to figure out who possibly could be the voice or voices that she's hearing. So when she finds the likely candidates of the people who become the team on the InnerNet team, she and the others, whenever they read something about each other, there's this joke that goes around about one person says stalker and the other person says snoop. The last thing that Scribe ever wanted to become is a cyber stalker, but she felt compelled to do this because of research. She needed to find out who was communicating or attempting to communicate with her. This idea of how much we expose ourselves with the information that we share publicly. She's always valued her privacy. So it was very difficult for her to start putting things out there to maybe give the people she was communicating with the tools with which they could also do their research. And so these types of ciphers, I guess is the word that I'm probably looking for. It was a type of code breaking where you wanted to share enough information that the people you are communicating with would understand that it was you, but not enough where anybody else was not communicating with you, would not understand what you were talking about, and still be halfway intelligent about it, so you don't look as if you are losing your mind. What types of connections are we really making with other people who see our things? This type of interplay between what we put out there and what we internalize. This idea of the internet and then the InnerNet, which is what a wandering mind is, dealing with the types of interdimensional communication, for telepathy, for example, that this internet is based around. Maybe telepathically we would never have known who we were connected to, but now with this global communications network, with the instantaneous messaging that we have going on and posting publicly, we might be able to find the connections, whoever is linking to us, much more easily than, for example, maybe somebody wrote a letter to somebody and they happened to talk about it countries away back when, with snail mail. Now it's a matter of maybe you saw a tweet, or maybe you saw a photo that really impressed upon you, and somehow that's getting imprinted on you, and maybe you are making a connection with somebody who has a like mind.